stories you know and love in an up-to-date, edgy style. Religion, Ho-Ho's way. Alright, well, I am broadcasting live in the attic, and you can find me on Facebook, on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter. You can email me, hoho at thehohoshow.com. Welcome to Religion Ho-Ho's Way, and I am your host, Ho-Ho. Well, this first part of this, I'm going to, I guess, throw an apology out there. You know, the last episode that I did was, on this one was, is God real? And, I mean, truth be told, I had, 3 or 4 different directions in my head all at the same time. And, it was one of the things, the sucker was long as hell, hard to follow, and it was like, holy crap, it really lacked direction, and that's my apology aspect of this, very, very hard show to follow. I don't think I really even completed that many thoughts, thought processes in that episode. So, for that, I do apologize. The other aspect of that episode, I was harsh. I really was, and that was one of the things I really come to the realization of, just before I even listened to the whole thing. It was definitely harsh. So, for that, not a complete apology, but I think it bears a little bit of explanation, because, religion, my faith, my, I don't want to say my identity in him, but, who God is to me and who Jesus is to me, it means something to me. It really does. And I'm passionate about that. There are a few things in my life I am more passionate about. And actually, in a matter of speaking, I would have to go as far as to say that, my faith, religion, is something that, it's the most passionate aspect of my life, because it has consumed so much of it. I have spent a lot of time studying and researching and looking into and watching documentaries and all kinds of other stuff. It has, of any and all topics that are out there, religion has consumed the majority of my time, even more than sleep, So it's something that I'm very passionate about, very, very passionate about. And, I realized that, my last episode, I was very abrasive, very harsh. I have met steel wool that was less harsh than what I was. So I didn't really mean, it wasn't I didn't start that episode with the intention of being harsh, but it just kind of, and again, it's just, please understand when I say that, it's something that I'm passionate about, and I am unapologetic about my passion, and so, it's not exactly an apology over how harsh I was. It's just, please understand my heart, because I truly do care about people. I care about their eternal destination. I care about, how they live their lives. I was actually talking with a friend of mine, and he, we disagree on religion, and he has his reasons, and I totally respect that, And one of the things I told him, I go, and here's the thing as far as a fact about religion and about faith. Faith isn't going to change the situations in your life. It's really not. How can it? But what it can do is, instead of having a storm raging around you, it's like a hurricane. The eye of a hurricane is calm. It's peaceful. It's quiet. That's what having faith gives you. It's that peace in the storm. It's that calm that allows you to think, that allows you to go, okay, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is something on the other end of this. This is not the end. It will be okay. Regardless of the situation that you're in, regardless of the tragedy that happens around you, that's what faith gives you. To have that, it's an inner peace, regardless of an outside storm, and that's what it gives you, and to see Christianity, to see Christ, to see God misrepresented, it angers me. It angers me like nothing else, and that's why I'm harsh about things. That's where it comes from. That's where my anger and the rage of it comes from, is because it irritates me to see my faith hijacked by religion. I'll be straight up, and like I call it religion ho-ho's way, but I guess truth be told, I should probably call it, spiritualism ho-ho's way. That would probably be a more accurate, title to the show, because I am not a fan of religion. Because religion is about people, it's about doctrine, it's about fitting in someplace. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, for instance, the last church that I went to, and I've referenced this church a lot, I really have. They are, of every church that I have been to, this one truly does it as right as I have ever seen any single church do. And that's saying something. I've been to a lot of churches. I've seen a lot of TV evangelists and TV pastors, Joel Osteen being one of them. I've seen a lot of these guys. This guy, the church that I went to up in Springfield, the absolute best that I've ever seen. They teach Scripture. They teach truth. They teach the Bible in all aspects. And they are unapologetic about it. They are as unapologetic as me. I am way more abrasive. I am way more vulgar. But, the head pastor at your church, he's flat kicked people out. Because they were being obnoxious. They were being rude. And he's like, look, this is a place of worship. This is a place of, to get something. And if you're going to be a distraction, you need to get up and go. And he did that while he was on TV being broadcast to, millions in the country and in other countries. So, I respect a man. A lot of respect for him. But, of all the places I've been to, they are the ones who do it as right as I have ever seen. I forget where I was going with that. One of them ADD moments. But that's where my passion comes from, though, guys. It really does, But to see people hijack my faith who, does nothing more than just put their own spin on it, and then they try to be inclusive and call it, Christianity, and that's not right. As far as I'm concerned, it isn't. So that's where that came from. That's where the abrasionness comes from. And, I'm unapologetic about it. I can't say I'm going to try to be less abrasive. I'll try to have more direction in the future on my next episode, to where it's easier to fall and not so much of just a jumbled up hot mess, because I understand that's what that last episode was about. There just way too many thoughts going on, way too many things that I had on my mind, as far as maybe that should be something of a series that I do. Is God real? To really throw stuff out there, because there's a lot of stuff that I've read, that I've studied, that I've looked into, documentaries that I've seen, and it really is one of them topics that, if addressed truthfully and honestly, studying not only the biblical aspect of it, but the other religions and their aspects of it, and history in itself as well. Because history has a lot to say about did Jesus exist, and what happened. So there really is a lot to be found on that. And there really is no excuse, especially in today's day and age. There's no excuse as to not be informed. and to not be educated. Because, most of the people in this country have a literal computer in their pocket, in the palm of their hand, and there's absolutely no reason to not be informed. When it comes to the information age, we live in the greatest time because we have more of an opportunity to stay connected, to stay informed. And it's sad to see people just squandering that ability and ignoring that and choosing to live their lives based on a lie, which is another aspect of where my passion comes from. People who choose to live their lives based on a lie. And considering, and here's me being abrasive, considering the information age that we live in, how people have a computer in the literal palm of their hand, why people can be uninformed. It's irritating, and I find it unacceptable to spread lies when you can easily find out the truth, to live a lie and to live it in such a way as to believe what you believe so wholeheartedly as to be unwilling to seek out and search the truth. That your truth comes from a personal experience that may or may not have any grounding in reality. And I'll explain what I mean by that. It's, okay, imagine, if you will, you go into a grocery store, okay? And let's say you go to grocery store A, and, there's only like 5 items you buy in that store. You buy bread, you get some Miracle Whip, you get ketchup, you get mustard, and you get hot dogs. Okay? Those are the only things that you ever buy in that store, have ever bought in that store, because, the bread you buy is perfect, and that's the bread you want. And the mayonnaise that they have has little, it's a sandwich type of a spread, and, it's got not just mayonnaise, but it's got other stuff in there too, and it's amazing. And the ketchup has just the right flavor, and the mustard is just, perfect. And the hot dogs are not, they are bun-length hot dogs, longer than any other place has them. And so you're like, yes, and you're loyal to the brand, you're loyal to the store, and those are the 5 things you buy, and you don't really sway outside that, And then one day, something happens. The price goes up on every single one of the things that you buy. Now, your perception is, every single thing in that store. That store raised their prices on everything. I'm so ticked off at them, I'm no longer going to go there. And so, what happens? You spread your truth based on your perception, but what you don't realize, or what you don't want to understand, and what you don't want to admit to and own up to, is that your perception is only based off of 5 items. Now, you don't know if everything in that store, the price went up, because you're unfamiliar with the price of everything else in that store. And the reality may easily be that, well, they only raised the price of 10 things. It's just 5 of those items were the 5 things that you bought. Everything else, the price went the same. So the reality doesn't match your perception, is what I'm trying to tell you. So what I challenge people to do, broaden your horizon. Broaden your perspective. Come to understand that there are way more vantage points to be had in any argument. Any argument doesn't have just 2 ways to look at it, this way, that way. Well, there's this way, there's that way. Party A, party B, and the third party. The party that doesn't have a stake on either side of A or B, and maybe even a 4th party beyond that, and maybe even a 5th party beyond that. There's other vantage points to be had. Not that there's other truths, because, let's face it, there's only one truth. But it's one's perception that may not be truth. You know, I mean, it may not be. You know, you watch something on TV, you know, or let's just say you experience something, and it can be all encompassing. You can have the, you know, the words that were spoken by this person, the words that were spoken by that person, and this happened, and, you know, it's on video, it's captured on video, and you see the whole thing play out right there. You know, some type of an altercation between two people. So, I mean, obviously you have what this person thought and what happened with this person, and then you have the camera with audio recording the entire thing, and there it is, and that you would say that that is the truth, but I mean, it even goes beyond that. Because it goes to a point of, you know, there's this person's life that, you know, this meant this to him, and this person, and that person's life that meant this to him. And I mean, it's just, it goes beyond that. But I mean, even still, you have what happened to person A, what happened to person B, what their perception of the situation is, and then you have a third party, which could encompass everything of that situation, but is still lacking in the personal lives of A and B, that you don't know what happened to them in their lives and stuff of that nature. How you doing? Oh, that's a bad thing. So, you know, so that's where I'm coming from on that. So I hope you understand. And there you have it. Uh-huh. Oh, your facial expression was awesome. That was great. All right, guys. Well, I thank you for tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful day. That's all I got for you. So take it easy. And I got to flip pages. There we go. There it is. Good night, all.